tonight, to drag the past out into the light. We're one, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other, carry each other.
Hello and welcome to another Chit-Chat Cafe. We're welcoming Dan Bendel here today, who's going to talk about his Whittling with Dan course, which starts next week, next Thursday evening. I'm Carolyn Barber from the Good Mental Health Co-op, and I'm joined by Sarah Haskett as well, who's I'm going to say our tech wizard. We're a little bit late because obviously with the internet there are, unexpected problems sometimes, so hopefully you can catch up with us. So I'm just going to ask Dan, first of all, maybe could you tell us a little bit about how you got into whittling? What's your background? How did that happen?
Sure, yeah. I started carving. I did a foundation course in Bournemouth years ago, and then I did a course at Wimbledon School of Art, and I did lots of sculptures and mediums there, and then from there sort of wood became more and more my medium.
Okay.
So I started carving, and then I ended up in Bristol doing courses which led to me doing more carving really, and enjoying that medium really, and so that's sort of a very brief.
Okay, and you've been doing courses for quite a few years, haven't you? Obviously live, real groups of people getting together with their wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for about 10 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, I started 10 years ago. Started with a few friends, and then we just I built it from there really, in my studio that I was working in at the time.
Okay. So just to ask you a little bit more about the course that you're going to run for us. So this is a 5-week course, isn't it? And each session is about an hour. So what could people expect to learn during your course?
Yeah, they can expect to well, I start off with whittling a potato, which is, I've got one here. Got a potato here.
That sounds really fun.
And so it's a quick kind of way in really with a potato. Everyone's peeled a potato, and then I move on to wood for the second week, and we start carving a face onto sort of an average sized piece of wood.
Right.
So I teach the basics of sort of how knives work and how you can manipulate them with the wood, and how to do detail. So you're sort of looking at how to do eyes with a knife, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Nice.
And a bit of planning as well. That's the general idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
It sounds like that. You have to have quite an eye for detail, and it feels like you'd get really into it. Really focused on it, and take your mind off your thoughts and stuff. I remember reading what you wrote about that, how it can, give you a sense of peace in that moment.
Yeah, definitely it does. All you're doing is focusing on the wood or what you're carving, and the concentration helps you to forget the world outside for however long you're carving.
Ooh.
And you've got something at the end. You've got like a face that you can put on your mantelpiece, or you've got a potato as well. Yeah. So it's quite satisfying and simple, hopefully.
Yeah, a bit of a sense of achievement, isn't it, when you kind of create something in the moment. So, but what would people need to prepare for your course? So, you know, that piece of wood, I mean, a potato, I guess, is quite easy to find, but do people need to find the wood? How do they need to prepare? And what about knives and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so yeah, obviously get a potato for the first week and a kitchen knife.
Okay.
But if you haven't got potato, you could use an apple or a carrot, and a kitchen knife.
Sorry, a picture came into my mind of that advert with the Christmas advert with the carrot, you know, that jumps around the table.
Yeah, and I laughed because somebody's added me into a Facebook group of where everyone's making things out of vegetables, like silly things, and and then posting pictures of them. So I should actually share your course into that group.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
that's the start of it. And you can make figures and stuff out of potatoes and carrots. But then for the next week, you can find a piece of wood sort of this size, about an inch, or a twig outside in the park
Okay.
is about that sort of thick, around that sort of thick. Or I mean, this is a swift that I've made, but this is probably too complicated for the first course. But you know, this twigs are very, hopefully more accessible than stuff like that. But I do skipping in Bristol, so you can, not skipping up and down like dancing, but you'll find bits of wood in skips outside people's houses.
Right.
Or you might have a piece of wood in your shed, or hanging outside the garden.
Okay.
But find a piece of wood. Also the knives, you can use like a pen knife, but I've bought myself this is a Whittling knife, so it's got a particular edge, so if you can get hold of one of these, that would be great. But just a normal pen knife, the pen knife would be just as good.
Okay. Or a kitchen knife, you know, like a small kitchen knife, is that?
Yeah, a small kitchen knife as well, that would be good, as long as you can sharpen it with, if you've got like a steel, you can sharpen it with,
Right.
to make it a bit sharper.
Yeah.
Or a stone from outside in the garden. If you've got a little stone, you can. I will show people how to sharpen as well.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that you'd look at in the first session, I guess. Is it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, start with the potato and the kitchen knife, and then
go from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Cool.
brilliant. Okay.
And just to say, if anyone is watching on the stream, just to drop us a little message, say hello, and let us know that you're there. But it feels like we're almost wrapping the session up. We're a bit late getting started.
Yeah.
But
That's
no, it's
brilliant.
cool.
Yeah. Go on.
I was just going to say it's cool to kind of hear what this is all about, because I didn't know what whittling was, and I almost kind of renamed the course like wood something, and then I got told off, no, don't rename it, it's whittling. We must keep to the same. I thought, okay, fine. But actually people obviously knew what it meant, and we've got someone saying hello there. Oh, April, hi April. And then nice that you could join us. So yeah, it's interesting to kind of hear how it all happens, and the idea of doing it with vegetables, I think, is just really fun, you know, because actually working with wood, I think it must be actually quite tough. It's I remember doing it as a kid, really enjoyed it, but you know, would you say you need sort of more proper tools and things to do it with wood, whereas I guess the way you're doing it with a vegetable, anyone can do. You can just do it with a normal knife. So it's a great idea.
But I mean, the first week is with a potato, but the second week it will be with wood.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the plan. But we can continue with vegetables throughout the whole course if they can't get hold of wood and a sharp knife. But yeah.
Got you. Okay, so for those that want to, go forth into creating something more substantial, something with wood, then they can do that. But if you haven't got the facilities to do that, you can just stick with carving into a vegetable. That sounds cool.
Well, hopefully. But if they can find some wood and a fairly sharp knife, that'd be great, because it's good to step from one medium to the other and have a try anyway, hopefully.
Yeah. So I mean, there is quite a lot of interest definitely in your course.
Yeah.
And if people there's a facility in the course for people to post pictures of what they've done as well. So that's quite good, isn't it, to share what people have done.
And just to pick up on a message here from April, she says you're making musical instruments with vegetables. So we're not necessarily making instruments. We're just making anything, aren't you, Dan? Is it just carving? So people can kind of get creative to whatever they want, or do you have a plan of what people are going to carve?
Yeah, the plan was to carve a head, really.
Cool.
To start off with the sort of basic cuts, and then go on to a head for the second week. But that might take longer than a week or two.
Wow.
And then if there's more sessions, that'd be great. And more courses we can go on to, maybe things like this, like a figure.
Amazing. Gosh.
Which is, yeah.
Okay.
That sounds really cool. I remember when I was at school doing woodwork, I think I did Bob Marley's face. Absolutely loved it. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, so if people want to sign up for Dan's course, is there a link? There'll be a link in the chat, in the comments underneath. So yeah, have a look at the course, sign up, and try your hand at whittling. Sounds a brilliant opportunity, and it's starting a week yesterday, so it's Thursday 25th, isn't it, at 7 o'clock in the evening.
Nice. Yeah.
That's right.
I know it's been popular. Lots of people are really interested in it, and it sounds great fun. I really like the idea of creating a little face. Yeah, brilliant. Especially, I mean, for me, I particularly like the idea of doing it in a vegetable. But I might try it with wood if I can get hold of the stuff. Yeah. Thank you, Dan. That's been really interesting.
Great.
Okay, thanks very much, and bye bye everyone. Check out the course.
Bye.